Well, this is certainly a very serious situation for Angela Merkel and her governing coalition. We saw this dramatic back and forth yesterday with the Interior Minister offering to resign and then saying, well, wait, we're going to actually have one more meeting with the Chancellor, and that's going to happen later today, where the Bavarian CSU party, they are hoping to that Merkel compromises a bit more on the issue of migration, and they say that could prevent the Interior Minister resigning. But from Merkel's perspective, the pressure really is to some extent on the Bavarians. They are the ones who have caused this crisis, so to speak. Merkel did come back from that Brussels summit last week claiming victory, or at least claiming enough progress on the migration issue to move forward. So it was the CSU who has brought this to a crisis point. So I think the real question is whether the Bavarians will be willing to walk this back from the brink, or if they are ready to face the consequences of possibly blowing up Germany's coalition government and taking the blame for that, most likely.
So, Ira, just to clarify, has he resigned yet? I know he's threatened to resign. And just tell us a bit more in detail, why has it got to this point?
No, he has not resigned yet. There were initial reports that he had resigned, but then it emerged that he basically had offered his party leadership his resignation, but then said that they were going to come back and do these last-ditch talks with Chancellor Merkel. And the reason that it has gotten to this point, of course, there's the divisive migration issue where the two parties have had differences of opinion. But I think a key thing to remember here is that Bavaria is facing statewide elections in October, and they have a very real threat from the far-right AfD party, the Alternative for Germany party. So they really need to show, or believe that they need to show, a tough line on migration going into those elections to fend off the AfD. And I think that's the main reason why we're seeing this very dramatic events playing out right now.
So, Ira, it really looks like these are very testing times for Merkel right now. Do you think she'll be in power within a few months from now?
Well, it's hard for me to say with any certainty whether that's the case. She certainly is in a reasonable position right now. An important aspect for Merkel is that she appears to have the support of her own CDU party. Yesterday, they drafted a resolution of support for the Chancellor. Her options here would be, if the CSU decides to leave the coalition, she could try and lead a minority government. She could also form a new coalition, swapping in the Green Party for the Bavarians. That is a possibility. There also could be fresh elections. So it's a very fluid situation right now. I'd say it doesn't, we'd really have to assess this at the end of today to see what Merkel's chances are in the months going forward.